Hello and welcome. My name is Pat Bear, and this is the Build With Baer Workshop. I'm going to throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the emote into chat. If you're currently subscribed and you reply with those emotes, you can say hi or hey. I'm here to build the model kit and to hang out with all of you. That's right. And we might even start a second model kit if we finish the first one, the Barbataurus. Ghost Valve is here. Lashbrick is here. Welcome to both of you. You can see here, the Barbataurus right now is just mostly a Barbatos with some extra weird pieces. And right now, it's got this peg at the back here. And we're going to be putting this and some other components that we have to build. And then it'll have two more legs and a torso. We already actually got one of the other legs done, and then we'll have to do the other one. And we're gonna make this a centaur, which I'm very excited about doing because that's silly. It's a silly, weird thing that we're gonna do, and we're gonna hang out. We're gonna talk. The new anime season has started. I will not be doing a play-by-play review of the three shows tonight, but I will instead give you an overview of the episodes, and I will give you a yeah, no, or for each one, letting you know if I'm invested. No, I don't think so. Or I don't know. I guess I'll give it another episode. Um, I generally give shows more than one episode. The three rule isn't necessarily fair to me. It's 2 to 4 generally. There have been things where after the first episode I was like, no, thank you. During the first episode, sometimes I've been like, no, thank you. But usually I do try to give them a couple episodes to find their footing. Um, but yeah, so I got a few of those. Now, honestly, between Friday and Saturday, there were like 5 shows that I wanted to watch, and I only watched 3, which is good because right now there are no shows on Sunday or Monday that I want to watch, so I can watch those other 2 shows for Monday, which is great. Um, because I don't care about Attack on Titan, the final season, part 2. Hey, Dirty, welcome. Now, if you care about Attack on Titan, awesome, enjoy it. I don't. I don't. I've said this before, and I will say it now again because why the fuck not? The thing about Attack on Titan is when the show went from being about a bunch of people trying to fight against these incredibly giant monsters to a show where a bunch of people try to fight against these huge monsters by taking advantage of the fact that there's somebody in their crew who could turn into one of those giant monsters. I was out because that was not the story that I was interested in. And like the twists and turns are fine of like, oh, there's other people who can do it, and oh, there's these people, and oh, the betrayals, and oh, this and that, and who's it gonna go? And I'll take on the entire world to protect a bunch of people for some reason. Fine. Okay, great. Go for it. Hidden destinies and all that. And this one, hey, is it weird that there's a family with a very Jewish last name and their whole thing is that they are like murderous people who go into a fugue state where they can murder real good as long as they're protecting someone? That feels fucking weird. Anyway, Attack on Titan is a mess, but people like it. What am I gonna do? Can't do nothing about it. I like a bunch of shit that people don't like at all, so who am I to talk? Anyway, we're gonna get into model kit building and work on this Barbataurus, which I have on a stand because I don't think that it's gonna. I don't know if this is gonna stand up on its own. I mean, it's gonna have 4 legs, but it's weird. Uh, a bit dirty. So the thing about Attack on Titan is, um, so many of the Titans are the creator of the manga. Let's not talk about how one of the characters is named after someone that had committed order genocide on other people, named after a real Japanese military person, which is what the fuck. There's a lot of shit about the creator. What's actually said by his in his own voice. One of the decisions that was made. One of the influences for him, a moment that gave him the idea to create the Titans, was that he had a night where he was accosted verbally by a dare to use their $3 word of the day. I like that. So this creator was once accosted verbally by a drunk foreigner, a Westerner who was drunk, was like getting in his face and yelling at him, and that's how he created the idea of Titans. It's just like, fuck. You're not gonna do any contemplation on that, huh? You're just gonna go with that? Cool, cool, cool. It's a lot of fucked up. A lot of it's just fucked. There's some interesting mythology within the world of it, but it's also like a problem. Is that why I keep hearing one that looks like a giant naked Mick Jagger? I mean, one does look like that. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, the fact that the Titans are frightening and disturbing and awful, it is smart for the storytelling element because they should be brutal. When you learn why they're like that, or you learn why what's up, it's like this is all fucked. The show's trying very hard to say that genocide is both bad and good, and it's weird. It's weird because I'm like, it's like, what is your point of view? Attack on Titan. Anyway, I don't want to talk about Attack on Titan anymore. I'm going to retweet my tweet, see if we can get a few more friends to join us tonight. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. We're going to go over to the main overhead view. I'm going to double check everything's good here. Great. Again, we are at 46 out of 50 subscribers. Would love to get back to 50. It's okay if we don't. We were for like a stream on Thursday. We did hit 50 subscribers. I think we had like 51. Now we're back down to 46. It's okay. I would love to get back to it, but whatever. Here's the Barbataurus, the overhead view. I'm just gonna probably end up putting it on a stand for photography's sake, because I don't know if it's gonna stand on its own four legs. Tonight we will be chatting about many things, I'm sure. But topics of conversation, of course. One manhwa in the manga section. When we're talking about 3 anime in the anime section. New shows. Continuation of one show, 2 new shows. We will be talking about a YouTuber that I have been watching some of their content, who I have no proof, but I am convinced must either be a morning DJ or that they have done some sort of okay, I'm sorry. Where's the new part? Here. It goes like that. That's like that. Goes to like that. Where's the second leg start? Okay, that's not that. Where do I start the second leg? Oh, was I supposed to be doing 2 times of all of this? Ooh, I was. Apparently, I was supposed to be doing this, the other leg like this, the entire time and didn't. That's on me. I didn't do that. But let's go into F here. Yeah, that is that. Okay. Yeah, I did not do the second one of this, so I will do that now. Okay. We're gonna go back and we're gonna do a whole leg here that we haven't done yet. Didn't realize that it wanted me to do that from the whole way. Okay. Oh yeah, so we'll talk about this YouTuber who I think is either a morning disc jockey or has done short form improv for many years, or both. It's possible that this person has done both. I mean, that's totally plausible and possible. All right, so that's one of these legs. That goes all the way there. All right, we're doing this other leg here. Wait. That, we do that. That's into D. Okay, that's D. All right, and then we do that into that, into that. That goes in there, and then we do a bunch of other shit. And that goes into there, and then it goes into D there. All right, so we're going to start here. I know where we are. We're right here. I get this now. Sorry, I was confused about where we were on this model kit. It's only been 2 days, but I got confused. Um, we're going to talk about the D&D campaign one shot that I ran today with friends, which was a good portion of my day. Um, I am with a crew that is doing one shots, and this was my turn to DM, and so we did a one shot, and there was some shenanigans. We'll talk about that. But first, let's talk about some maybe good news and maybe not so good news. I don't know quite how I feel about it, and so I want to chat with all y'all about it. Maybe get your thoughts on it. But I'll first say I think I'm interested in the fact that, according to The Hollywood Reporter, Netflix has ordered, not the series yet, but they are in development, an anime based on Scott Pilgrim versus the World, with Brian Lee O'Malley as a co-executive producer on the project. So, and that is interesting. Now, I like Scott Pilgrim. I don't love Scott Pilgrim. I was probably like a little like, if I had been a couple of years younger when it first came out, I would have been obsessed with Scott Pilgrim. Instead, I just think it's good, and I think the movie is like a fun adaptation of it. Um, and I'm in favor of more Scott Pilgrim. I think the video game is like a very good um like clone of River City Ransom. That doesn't do anything else surprising. It's just a good version of that. Um, so I am interested. Now the thing that gets me, that piques my interest more than anything else. Well, this is not. Hmm. A129. Got it. The thing that interests me more than anything else today is that the studio that is going to be working on this project, which again has not been, there has not been an order for it, but it has been a, hey, we think we want to do this as a Netflix show. The studio behind it is Science Saru. Now, Science Saru is most recent, they've done something since, but their most recent incredible anime was Keep Your Hands Off Isaac, which I named as my top anime of the year 2020. It was my favorite show of that year. They have also done visually interesting shows like Devilman Crybaby, a very different, different style show, of course, and also Ping Pong the Animation, which is unbelievably gorgeous and gritty and wonderful. Is a fantastic art. So they could get buck wild with this thing. So I am optimistic about that. Like, now, how much the show translate, how much the graphic novel would translate in an anime format? I think a lot. I think that, like, um, I like that the studio isn't the same studio that does like Pop Team Epic or something, because I don't want it to feel like random or bizarre. I want it to feel like, honestly, what I want it to feel like is 90s anime or like early 2000s anime, more than I want it to feel like 2020s anime. Like, I would like it to have an older feel, um, in the same way that the graphic novel is so inspired by like 8-bit uh, shenanigans. And it also is inspired by like manga and shonen manga, because it's clearly, I mean, it's written by uh, a Canadian, but it is heavily influenced uh, by anime and manga. So in that sense, I'm like, yeah, I mean, a Scott Pilgrim anime could be fucking cool as hell. Um, People are still into it. It's been a while, but I think that like it could. Here's the thing that's funny and weird, right? To me, there are people who have seen the movie, never read the comic. There are people who've read the comic, never seen the movie. There are also people who have played the video game, and that is the only thing they know about Scott Pilgrim because that game sold pretty well despite Ubisoft's efforts. And then they re-released it recently, and it also sold pretty well. So I could see that doing all right. And also having the creator be an executive producer on it is a good sign. That is always a good sign if they are heavily involved in the project. You know that's cool. So we'll see. I'm cautiously optimistic about that. And who knows? Who knows if it even sees the light of day? Who knows if Netflix picks it up? Who knows if we get like a leak of it, of a treatment of it, or of the pilot, if that just appears somewhere. But it's interesting. I'm interested in seeing what that ends up becoming because that could be cool. Other things I want to talk about. All right. So I ran a fifth edition. I ran a one shot in fifth edition today. So I have a crew that we attempt to be weekly, but we are most likely we're generally like every other week at this point. Um, just because scheduling is tough, right? So some of those people in that crew are in another crew. And this is the one shot crew. This is people who are like, I do not have the time or energy for a weekly or monthly ongoing epic story. Can't do it. But if it was a one shot, I would do it. So some of the people that I used to be involved in that would do stuff in Fiasco that we had a one shot crew. Some of those people have come into this. We gotten some other people we dragged into it, and the idea is if there are four people that want to play, and a dungeon master, someone that wants to run it, if we can get four players and somebody to run, then we'll just do it. And it is a shared universe. You develop your character off, and we can balance characters. We can do leveling as if that perceived that something had happened, so that we can kind of balance the levels of the characters and you know write some ideas ahead of time or just kind of like see what's going on. But basically, we can use books if we want to. We can use like whatever, depending on who wants to run it. If they want to look up scenarios and work with an existing scenario, they can. If there's a module that they like or something like that, or they can just be like, one we ran the other day, the friend ran, was a recreation, although it went off the rails, of course, of something that she once experienced that she loved, and so she gifted it to us, which was very nice of her, because that was a fun idea. Um, so it can be anything like that. Today I ran one, and it was a dungeon run. It was an escape from a dungeon. They started, instead of exploring a dungeon, they started at the end of the dungeon. They had just beat the boss at the dungeon. The perceived storytelling let them know this has happened. This is the situation. Everyone's cool, but they're tired. There's no time to rest. And then it was just like a escape from the dungeon before it destroys itself and you're trapped in there. That was the premise. It was like a race against the clock, right? Because we were actually time constrained. So it was a race against the clock. Still let people explore. Still let people have fun. Still let people like try some stuff. Uh, I was in. Here's the thing. I told them this. I said, "Hey, this timer is never going to like go back in time, but it's going to like run slow when we need to run slow. I'm not gonna make it so that you don't make it out because uh, this battle took too long or something like that. Uh, I was like, I'm gonna be pretty liberal with the clock, but I will, you know, don't think you can just hang out. Like I will count down. There is a fail state, but I wasn't enforcing like a hard, fast one. Um, I wanted to be fun and I wanted to be more of a storytelling device. And that went well. I had a good time with that. Um, One thing that happened that I was not expecting, because of course you can't expect everything when you're creating that, and you shouldn't expect everything. You should expect to be surprised and to have things not necessarily go your way, but the surprises be incredibly worth it. Um, so my folks here, the four of them, there were some birds in one area. And originally the birds were there because the birds were there to let them know that they were near the surface, that there were like small holes. And I wanted to see if they were going to try to like break out and like, or they were going to continue. What I didn't expect was for one player to want to kill the birds to eat the birds. I was not expecting that. And so later I was like, I wasn't hinting like, hey, you should explore this. Hey, you should try to figure out where these birds came from. I figured maybe they could follow them. Maybe they could do whatever. Maybe they could like, do something. Another character was like, well, I'm going to try to kill these birds. And so it was just a thing where they just kept coming after my birds. And then I was like, oh, okay. And there was like a little bit of downtime. And then I was like, all right, well, originally, at the last thing that they were going to have to defeat right before they escaped was gonna be a two-headed dog, not a three-headed. I wasn't gonna do Cerberus, but I was gonna do a big two-headed dog. And I was like, well, they've killed, I want to say 6 birds. They killed like 6 birds at one point by the end of it, and so I was like, all right, fine. I'm gonna change what I was gonna do, and I told them this. I was like, you should know, if video games have told us one thing, is that if you kill enough birds, the birds will fight back. And so the final boss of this adventure, this dungeon escape, was a two-headed duck. A giant two-headed duck. They had to fight a giant two-headed duck, and they almost didn't beat this duck. I was very sporting about it. There were some 2 different people had critical fails against this duck's armor. Armor points, whatever. There were literally 2 critical fails against this duck, this giant two-headed duck. But it worked out pretty great. It was fun. I like it. I don't DM that often. I often will run. Don't really need to run, but I'll usually like be the one in doing the rolls for like Fiasco or something like that. I have run games. I've run plenty of like short campaigns, like month-long campaigns, but I haven't run a lot of like really long-term campaigns in D&D for a long time. Um, uh, but yeah, I do like 5e, and I do like having fun, and we're not rules light, but we're not jerks about the rules, if that makes sense. Like you can like be like, oh shit, I can't do that, and we'll figure it out. But it's not like I'm not I'm not a rules czar. I don't come down on people for not fully understanding the rules of a complicated game like that. Also, I am totally willing to be like, you want to argue a thing, you want to try to do a thing. If you want to say that you can do this, like, sure, no problem. Uh, like one person in the party really wanted to try to charm this two-headed duck, and they failed. And then they asked me, they said like, hey, could I try to charm the other head? And I was like, I mean, yes, you should try. I don't know if you'll succeed, but I was like, yes, you did not fail to charm this duck. You failed to charm one of the 2 heads of the duck. Sure, I like this very much. You should do that. Now, did she manage to do the other head? No, but I love that she was just like, can I try this again with the other head? And I was like, please, this sounds great. I don't know if I should have said yes to that, but it was way more fun to say yes to it, and so that's what we did. Um, but yeah, I like this one-off group. I like this one-shots. I pitched this. This was based on the Fiasco group that I used to be in, the one-shots group, which was the idea of the guild, the like the it's a most adventures start in the guild house with someone saying like, hey, we got a quest for this, and it's quest based, and then you just have some people roll in, and you can like talk about adventures that have happened that people weren't a part of, or you can talk about adventures that haven't happened and just kind of like, just like make assumptions about how it went. um and we're using that format to tell stories, and I really like it. Um, and also, I'm the first. This is like the third one we've done, and this is the first time that we have started in it. Like we had finished another adventure, which we didn't do, and we just started at the end of it because I was like, I don't want to start in the guild. I want to start in the dungeon. Like you already did the impossible task, and now you just have to survive. I don't know. To me, that was just like a really fun place to start. I just really like the idea of that. All right, so I missed a piece there. We are almost done with our leg, and then we're going to build the connection pieces we need to put on this thing, and then put the legs on so that we can fucking put all this together and make a centaur, and then put some weapons on our centaur. Um, all right, let me get G210. There we go. Great. All right, other things. So it was D&D GTFO. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, but I just like the idea of doing like the part two of the story, right? Like you can make your imagine or use your use your imagination of what happened, how you got there, how you defeated thing. I gave like basic information, but let them kind of fill in the blanks because that's more fun, and because I am a dungeon master, not the writer of a fantasy novel or fantasy short story, I guess in this case. So I was just like, this is the here are the facts, and then kind of let them fill in what they wanted to. Other than saying like, hey, just for ease, none of you are seriously injured right now, so we don't have to deal with that. We're just like, hey, you managed to defeat this boss, and everyone was like pretty okay after, because that's just more fun. Now, if anyone got injured as we went along in that story, I was like, that's totally okay. I'd be fun with that. This thing, I might have to blue tack this later. This does not want to. Yeah. Oh, that now it looks okay. All right, we have done our two legs. Our legs are done, man. And now our back legs. Now we're going to build some connector pieces here. Oh, yeah, that's the back of this. All right, so we'll do that. Build some connectors. All right, so what else want to talk about here? I guess let's talk a bit about Doug DeMuro. Now, I'll say his name. Doug DeMuro has a YouTube channel where Doug looks at uh, interesting cars, classic cars, camper vans, things with history. He'll give his reviews. He is a he is a writer and has written for many websites on the subject of cars. Knowledgeable person in that field. Um, and like I said, hosts a YouTube channel where he looks at cars mostly in the California area. Often people are like, "Hey, do you want to review this? I've got this like, car from this era. If you want to take a look at it," and he does his research, and it seems like whatever. Don't know the person personally, but like get the idea that this is somebody who like really likes weird cars and old cars and whatever. Um, I think I got recommended, on YouTube. The algorithm recommended his channel because I watch a lot of like camping and like van conversion because I'm all about that van life as a thing to put on. Um, Not so much for the like, I want to hear people's thoughts about van life, but more to the idea of like, it's content that can be on YouTube that I don't hate. Uh, Generally, the only stuff about van life I dislike is we converted this school bus and this is where we raise our kids. And I'm like, no, no, thank you. Don't get kids involved in your weird, we got a mobile tiny home. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get to a place. Raise your kids in a place. Um anyway, that is besides the point. Anyway, so I got recommended this guy and I'm watching him. I'm watching Doug Demuro, I should say. Doug Demuro doing his thing. And here's the thing about Doug. I think I mentioned it. I can't tell if Doug has an improv comedy background and specifically a short form like theater sports, like comedy sports, like Whose Line Is It Anyway short form style background, or if Doug has been at some point in his life like an afternoon time DJ. I can't tell. It also could be both, but he's got this like, hey, Doug, we don't need you to be this animated and loud. You could be cool energy, where it's like, it feels like enthusiasm. It doesn't feel like this dude is like dicking around, like playing a character, playing a role. He's not doing that like fake, fake scared, fake excitement kind of like shit. Like it doesn't feel like that. It feels genuine. If you, or I should say, it feels like this is the way that Doug thinks he should be hosting the show, or it could be this is just Doug's whole fucking vibe. I can't fully tell, but I am pretty much convinced that this dude, like, if I read somewhere that this dude was like studied, like improv in San Francisco, I'd be like, no, definitely not. Studied improv in Chicago or Detroit or Denver, I'd be like, yes, 100%. This dude did some Midwest improv. It just feels like it. This dude was on an improv team in college. That's really what it feels like. Um, the DJ thing is like, because here's the thing, right? Podcasting and radio don't have to be different, but podcast vibes, like podcast host vibes, and afternoon DJ host vibes, like radio DJ host vibes, those are different beasts. Those are totally different vibes, and so that is what I'm getting from Doug. Now, is that saying I didn't like the videos? No, I think the videos are fine. If you like interesting cars and the stories, seems to be very well researched. Seems like he has, I mean, he does a lot of rating. He really cares about this thing. It's like he's very passionate about these cars, and I think it's great. There are a lot of annoying people on YouTube that make this kind of content. This guy doesn't seem annoying. He's just like a fucking lot. He is a lot. He's got a personality with a capital P. Which, some people, that's a turnoff. Other people, that is exactly what they want. They want a big, 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 big character. And if you want a big character, you can get a big character with Doug. Um, what am I going to say here? If I'm a little out of it today, one, I did a bunch of things today and I'm tired. So that's part of it. Another thing that might be affecting me is that I am full of bread and cheese. I just stuffed full of cheesy garlic bread. Italian loaf was purchased. It's like, oh, what do you want to do with this? Well, we got garlic, and we got mozzarella. Let's just we had real garlic. It's like let's make garlic bread, and then garlic bread was made, and it was really fucking good. It was unbelievably good. Too much of it, just too much of it. Um, like like an like I feel like I am full of bread and cheese and oils, like lots of oils. I feel like weird. Uh, like, oh, I overdid it. Like Yeah, I went too far. I flew too close to the sun, and now I am paying for it. So I'm a little out of sorts tonight. So my apologies. Also, this happens on some evenings. I am not saying this is a problem. I am merely pointing it out. Y'all are pretty quiet tonight, and that is okay. It is okay if chat is chill on one evening. Does not have to be a banger of an evening. There's a few of y'all lurking tonight. Haven't even seen you. Haven't even seen emotes. We got like half of our VIPs are in here. Haven't even seen an emote at him. We had a few people here. Haven't said anything. That's okay. I am not trying to force you. Maybe I haven't said anything you want to comment on, or you're just having a chill evening. It's on a Saturday. You just got on your phone in the corner. You doing other stuff. You got it on the TV while you have dinner. Whatever you're doing. Um, you're catching up on something else on another monitor. Cool. Thanks for fucking being here. Genuinely, I appreciate you being here. But it is a little quiet. And as a reminder, I don't do a lot these days, so I don't always have things to talk about. Of course, in the second hour, we will talk about a manhwa that I have been reading that I'm now caught up on. Many chapters. Aristofan says, just came back from early dinner. Hell yeah. Well, welcome, Aristofan. Happy to have you here. Yeah, we're talking about a manhwa called Seoul Station Druid, which is interesting. It is another like gates opened. There are monsters. There are guilds. The apocalypse is coming. There's an interesting twist along the way in it, but it is pretty standard. But like, cool. So I'm like, okay, that sounds pretty neat. So I'll be checking that or talking about that. I've got three anime to talk to you about. All right, we're gonna do the legs first. All right, we gotta do these legs first here. Put it on there. Yeah, but I got Slow Loop, Strongest Sage with the Weakest Crest, and How a Realist Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom Part 2. So they said literally, they called it, Funimation's calling this episode 14. So they are definitely making the case that this is not season 2. This is part 2 of season 1, which I didn't know they were doing and or a while ago. And I'm excited about because I like that show. No spoilers. I liked it a lot. It wasn't my favorite show of 2021, but I did really like it. So excited to see more. All right, let's put this here. Let's put this there. All right, so this is going to go here. We're almost done with this kit. So this goes like this. It does, this part of the Centaur does look like we have just built like a whole other Barbataurus. Like you can't fully build a second Barbataurus, like there's not enough parts, but you can almost build a second Barbataurus with all the parts that they give you. Like there's not parts for the head. You couldn't build a new head with this, but you can almost build a full fucking kit. Very strange. I've been playing Final Fantasy 14 for a while, and today I actually ran a raid with some folks in a Discord I'm on. Had a good time. Hell yeah, that sounds awesome. I am happy to hear that. I'm glad you had a good time, Aristofan. Um, Video game wise, we should chat a little bit about some video games. Nothing I haven't really. I honestly didn't play much since Thursday. I'm still playing Hearthstone. I got um, the latest expansion has some new like high cost minions in Paladin, and so I made a Wild Paladin deck that uses Prismatic Lens and Duel to try to cheat out big Paladin cards. And it's not a good deck. It's not a good deck, but it is a fun deck. So I'm playing that, and I have an Evolved Shaman because there have been some new cards that help with the Evolve package. So I've been playing that, and then what else? Oh, I have an Elemental Mage deck in standard. It's a standard elemental mage deck because the newest expansion added one new card that is a good low cost elemental for me to add. That is a great elemental for that deck. So I have that, and that's gone. I would say fine. My next, like, hey, what should I do? Poll for my patrons, my $3, $5, and $10 patrons, is going to include Hearthstone because I might want to go play that again. But I definitely feel like, oh, if my patrons voted for that and that won the poll, I would definitely do it. I'm still like, look, if I was going to stream Hearthstone on Twitch, we would have a discussion about their unionization efforts, their grassroots efforts among the Activision Blizzard King group, the AVK group. We would talk about that stuff. I would certainly not shy away from talking about those things because I think those things are important to chat about. But I don't know if I would I still don't know if I would do it. I still play. I mean, I enjoy playing, but I don't know if I could talk about it. I don't know if I could stream it. I haven't decided yet. I can talk about it, but I just don't know if I could. If I would do that. All right, we have gotten. I believe this is right here. We still have to add the tail. Let's add this kit here, and then we're going to build the tail on it, and then we'll be done. So I have this on the stand because, yeah, it'll be a lot easier to do this. But yeah, there it is. Here it is from a side view. Look at that shit. I made it. It's a centaur. It's a goddamn centaur. You can see the back legs from the front. It is not the sturdiest thing, that's why it is on a stand. I made a goddamn centaur model kit. And now we're going to put a tail on it. And then we're going to build the backpack. We still haven't built the backpack. We got to build the tail, the backpack, and then the weapons. And the weapons are like daggers that also combine with another piece to make a bow. But this is a very silly thing that I put together here. But let's build the tail. Got to build the tail. We need the wire here. Got to have this wire. Bend it a little bit here. Kind of put a little oomph into it, and we'll assemble our tail here. That piece there. I need. That's G26. Looking G16 here. Great. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm putting the poll up tomorrow for my $3, $5, $10 patrons to decide when I play next Wednesday, and then that'll kind of indicate when I'm going to play the following week. But the 27th of January, because I know, or the 26th, right? So right now it's like the 12th. I don't know what I'm playing. It'll be the Patreon's choice. The 19th will kind of be like based on what wins. I'll pick myself something I'm interested in playing, and the 26th will be Prepare with Bear. It'll be my cooking stream where I'll be making twice baked potatoes and sausage balls. Excited to make those. That's going to be very good. That'll be a good night of doing some cooking and hanging out with everybody. Looking forward to it. Worst fan says, sorry. It's 6. Here we go. It's been a nutty week for me, says I'm going out of town for a few days this week, so I had to prep for that family gathering. Okay, well, Marissa fan, I'm sure y'all are figuring that stuff, how to do it, hopefully as safe as possible. Good luck. Planning for a trip. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, I used to do this all the time, but then we just don't because people haven't been going on trips as much or seeing people as much. Some people have, other people haven't. So that is a lot, and so I hope that all goes well. I hope everyone is safe, as possible, and has a great time. Okay, so then this has to go in. I mean, it's got this tail has to go into the plug for the tail. It does not fit. It does not fit. I am not exaggerating when I say this tail. This does not fit on the tail. I am trying to pin the tail on the model kit. So in watching Godzilla 98, I've observed two things. One, says Dirty, there's 2 hour issues in the first 15 minutes. Or HRs, not hour. There are 2 HR issues in the first 15 minutes of the movie. And the second, closed captioning is only about 65% accurate. That's not good for a movie. Movies should be more accurate than that. Yeah, legitimately, folks. Did I put this together upside down? What's going on? The tail won't fit. The tail won't fit. Like, what the fuck? I'm taking this back section off. Because I'm looking at this and, like, I'm going to put it like this way so I can twist this around. But I can't get this tail to fit here. I don't know why. I mean, you know, I'm sure no one's really worried about the HR violations, considering that it's a Godzilla movie. Like Godzilla is real in that movie. Risfin says, yeah, kind of weird to do, but it's been planned for a while. Everyone involved is vax boosted, and no one is wildly reckless with the virus. Well, that's good to hear. I mean, obviously, make sure everybody's, tested and looking out and isolating if they gotta and worrying about all that stuff. All right, I don't know what's happening here, but legitimately, I'm like, did I miss a step somewhere? Because this thing let me double check with this. Like, is there an extender that I was supposed to put in this thing that I didn't do? Because right now, no, no. Right now, this won't fit in here, and this is the tail for the kit, and it should fit into this peg here. And it doesn't, and I don't know why it doesn't. And that's weird to me. So that's why I'm like, did I put this in upside down? But it wouldn't make any sense because this is the thing that plugs into the back of it. So this piece here that I'm holding in my hand should fit into the hole here. And it doesn't. And I don't know why it doesn't. But this is the only place this tail goes. It doesn't go there. It goes here. This was shown me very incorrectly. It doesn't go into this part here in the back. It goes into the this part right here and fits in just perfectly. And I was wrong, and I'll admit that I was very wrong. It is a little confusing about where that's supposed to go, but also I was looking at it wrong. So I'm at fault, but also. Interloper71 is following. You're not at fault. Welcome. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop, putting together this Barbataurus. It's a Barbatos. It's also a Centaur. That doesn't make any sense. But Gundam Breaker Battle Log is a lot of fucking kit bashing. So that is the only explanation possible. Lots of kit bashing, and they had to make an evil kit for the villain of this show that is aimed definitely at children and not teenagers or adults, but also Gunpla fans of all ages. It is a double thing. All right, so there is our Centaur body here. We got our Centaur, and now we're gonna definitely like to. I wonder if I should try to get this to stand up without the stand, because it does. Yeah, it does want to like bend down, and I guess it will look better like this. This is, I'm going to describe this as precarious. This whole thing feels very precarious. I guess it doesn't need a stand. I guess it maybe even looks better without one, but whatever. All right, now we got to put a backpack on this kit, which is our last sticker, and then we'll build some weapons for it. I wonder if I could do. I wonder if I should do it on the stand over here. I do that. Yeah, I guess I could do this, and it does look better if I. I guess this does want 2 stands, which I don't have a second one of these handy. I think I'm going to do no stand. I think we're okay. Yeah, this thing really does want a little blue tack there. I don't know if I'm going to. I am going to display this a little bit, but I'll probably do it with a stand when I display it. Yeah, I'll probably put it on a stand when it goes back over here. I like to rotate through some of these. All right, let's start working on the backpack here. We do have one more sticker to apply just per part of this. Do that. Most of those stands have a mode where you can have multiple arms coming off it. Oh yeah, we could put another arm here and do something like this, and then another arm over here. We could probably figure something out like that instead of putting it in the middle. That's totally a good call. Isabella says, good evening to you. Also, we could do like this with it, and then put this here so that the other legs are standing on the stand. That's actually what we should be doing. Yeah, this is, I mean, this is probably actually the way to go. And then I'll show you like this, so that the back legs are connected to the back legs and the front legs are like standing on the stand instead of in front of the stand. That's probably for the best. Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. But yes, good evening. We're almost done with this kit. We got to work on the backpack and then the weapons. And then we'll probably have time tonight to start or at least get set up for the... I have to remember what this kit is called because it's 2 kits with very similar names. The Gundam Perfect Strike Freedom, which is the Strike Freedom and the Perfect Strike. It is like the base of one with new parts from the other, which, even in the context of the show, is fucking lazy. Like, right? Like, doesn't that feel lazy? Like, they're like, hey, yeah, I combined 2 different Strike Gundams together. Like, oh, why? Why didn't you do anything interesting or creative? Like, nah, I really just like a basic ass Gundam, and so I put some other basic ass parts on it and combined 2 versions of the Strike. It's like, you didn't even make it like the Noir or the Odori, like anything cool. I don't know. But I'm talking shit about the creative process of the character that has designed that. Not talking shit about Michael. Shout out to Michael. That's all I know of the person that bought that kit off my Amazon wish list. That's why I'm building it next, because it was purchased off my Amazon wish list. I'll have a video up tomorrow for everybody to check a look at that. We'll talk more in detail about the kit. But also, because it's a Strike, one cool thing is because it's Strike, that kit that I'll be building next is from 2016. Both sections of it are for 2016, so it is a pretty modern kit. It is, I think, the most modern kit, with the exception of the Live Lance, which is mostly a new version of the Death Scythe. That's pretty new. Again, this has a bunch of parts here for folks that like really want to make a second Barbataurus out of like the back half of this kit. I don't know why you wouldn't want to have it be a centaur, but if you want to like make a second weird figure to go along with it, but you could. I mean, like, as again, I don't know why you would, because this is like fucking cool as hell, but maybe that's your thing. All right. Goes like this. This goes this. Oh, this goes like this. Then this goes. There we go. I don't know why this backpack is being. Why I'm having so much trouble with this backpack. I'm just going to chalk it up to me having a long day and feeling a little tired tonight. Not super tired, but a little tired. I'm a little out of sorts on this fine Saturday evening. Look, I didn't even have to think about it. I knew it was a Saturday. Right off the bat. I'm doing A-okay. Let's see. Other things. Anything else in my list of things to talk about? I mean, I haven't played Halo in like 2 days. I'm feeling a little rusty. I was gonna play last night, and then I got very sleepy and didn't. But I did get several messages about the Discord of people that I know that play that were like looking for people. So when I play, which will probably be after the stream tonight, I'm probably gonna get a few games in. Um, there are people that I know that still want to play, which is great because I am still having a good time with Halo. A little Halo Infinite. I don't have any like new games on the horizon that I'm like, oh, I definitely don't pick this up. I do have a list of things from people's game of the years that I've been reading that I'm like, okay, well, I could check that out, and ooh, I should probably check this out. But right now, that has not been focused in like me actually doing anything, like picking up anything. But I have been tempted by a few things out there, so we'll see. We'll see if I end up picking anything up that I haven't played. I'm honestly more interested in the giant bomb lists coming out because there are always like indie devs on that list, and they often mention games that like I didn't read about on Twitter, I didn't hear about on podcast, and so I'm always interested in like what those folks are excited about, because I don't always I don't hear about those things. So it is cool to get exposed to those games. So I usually get a bunch of lists from that. I'm starting up the Forgotten City this weekend. It was mentioned on a few Game of the Year lists. Yes, I knew that Vinny and Brad really liked that, and I think Alex as well. That got referenced a lot in the Nextlander podcast. So I already knew that was something that I might want to check out. I mean, I love anything that would start off as a fucking Skyrim mod and then became a fledged video game. That is fun. That is a fun pedigree, in my opinion, of just like, yeah, this started as a mod and then like this dude made it a fucking video game, like a for real game. That is shit that I like. Uh, Here, don't know what this means. Cut here. I don't know what that means. Oh well, I'll figure it. I think I'll figure it out. These are blades that can be held, but they can also be made into two parts of a bow. So we will build the blade, and then and then the blades, and then we will build the bow. That's a fun idea. I like the idea of hand blades that become a bow. A neat idea. But yeah, I guess I said like, folks, what was your game of the year? What are like games that you're like? No, this is a better question. Sarah, what's your game of the year? What's a game you're gonna be checking out like this month from 2021 that you're like, oh, now that I have some time, or now that there aren't fucking video games coming out, this is the thing I'm gonna be checking out. Hey, Lord Crashington, welcome. Um, Forgotten City, like, definitely could be the game that I'm going to pick up. I started playing Sunshine Heavy Industries during the stream, and I'm really digging it so far. Oh, okay. I don't know if I know that one. I don't necessarily have a game that I'm like, ooh, this is the thing I'm going to be trying out right now. I mean, it might be Forgotten City because that did seem very cool. I played quite a few games, but there's still there. I'm sure there's still some stuff out there that I haven't checked out that I'm like, I should be investigating. So, Lord Crashington wants me to hit the ska button. Ska button incoming. Also, gonna let you know, I have figured out how to play MP3s and waves in here outside of the Elgato soundboard stuff, so I can play MP3s from my computer, and so we will be playing MP3s. There will be ska in February, and it'll be ska that I have downloaded under the Creative Commons license and can play on stream without getting a takedown notice. So I'm excited about that. MIDIs, I don't know, Lashbrook. I assume I could play MIDIs. I haven't investigated that. Let's see. I emulated Red Dead Redemption and some Azura's Wrath, and now I'm playing Red Dead Redemption 2 for the 173rd time. This is Isabella saying, yay. Yes, indeed. But yeah, I'll try MIDIs. Let's see. Lord Crashing says, Forgotten City, Tales of Arise, and Guardians of the Galaxy are games I'm trying to check out at some point. I refuse to play Guardians of the Galaxy. The Galaxy. I don't care if it's good. Guardians of the Galaxy should be the name of a sequel, but they won't because they're cowards. Anyway, I refuse. I don't care if it's a good video game. I don't want anything to do with it. I don't. I'm just kind of fucking over it, and I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. I'm good on it. I'm like, I get it. I understand where people are coming from. I'm happy they like it. I hope that it was good for them and they had a good fucking time playing it. I just don't want to play. I, in general, don't want to play a Marvel game that's not Spider-Man. But in specifics, I don't want to play a Guardians of the Galaxy game, even if it's fucking good. I just don't. I don't have to, because I don't have to talk about video games. I choose to talk about video games on this channel because some of y'all play them and I play them, so we can talk about them. But I don't have to talk. I don't have to play games to talk about them. Awesome. I've definitely said this before. It is fucking cool as hell that I can just be like, nope, didn't play it, never gonna. Don't own a PlayStation 5. Don't own an Xbox. Might get one at some point. Don't need them. Play PC games. Like my PC games. Pretty happy that I get to play those PC games. All right. We'll get this bow together at some point here. Our big bow. I think I will probably pick up GT Guardians of the Galaxy on the next sale. I got you. As far as my games of the year, Quake, Metroid, don't know. Okay. Quake 1. I mean, I get that. That makes sense to me. All right. This kid has so many goddamn weapons on it. We got a sword here. That's just a sword. All right, we'll get back into that. We're gonna get back into that. We'll take some photos with that. I did blow up my first fuel tank in hard space shipbreaker, which meant I had to spend a bunch of time picking up pieces of that part. Ugh. Yes, Quake 1. A version of Quake 1 did come out this year. You're right. Also, you look. I don't have a games list, but if it did, it would have Dwarf Romantic, and it would have Power Wash Simulator, and neither of those are technically out. But whatever, I don't care. As again, I'm not a games journalist. I can just put things on my list if I wanted to. That horde mode they added is pretty fun. Well, nice. Yes, they did add stuff, so that is cool. All right, we'll get into building the various components of this bow here, and we'll take the sword out and we'll build the mace and all that. You can play the game. The game is out. Indeed. Yeah, indeed. But first, we're gonna go. We're gonna have a pause for the cause. I'm gonna talk about ways you can support the channel. All of the things I'm gonna be talking about here are optional. None of these things are things you have to do. If you would like to do them, that would be rad. I'm sorry, my allergies are kind of kicking my ass right now. So if you would like to subscribe here, first let's see from the subscribers. Let's throw the Barricade Lego Cite the Moon in chat. If you're currently a subscriber, you can put those emotes in the chat. Let the people know. Subscribing is an easy way to support what I do here. $5 a month or your Prime Gaming token if you have Amazon Prime. Link that with your Twitch. That is another way to support what I do here. If you would like to do that, that would be great. You could gift a sub to somebody in the community. We had some gifts on Thursday from Wristfed, which we very much appreciate. The goal is to hit 50 subscribers. It'll always be at 50 subscribers. We're currently at 46. It's okay. If we don't get to 50 tonight, that's fine. If we don't get to 50 by the end of the month, that's a little shame. You also, if you've been gifted a sub, you can convert that to a regular subscription and you won't get charged until that month is over. So consider it. Think about it. Also, bits and coins, always appreciate it. I got sound effects to play if you subscribe or resub or gift a sub, or if you give bits and coins, I got sound effects for that, and I will be happy to play those sound effects. I can't play them if you don't. That's not a threat. That's just the reality. Also, I have a Patreon. You could join my Patreon if that's something that you'd rather do. There's a $1, $3, $5, $10 tier there instead of the tiers here. You got 2 tiers that are cheaper than the minimum here, which is $5 on Twitch. We're going to talk about these very quickly. We'll get back to building. So I'm just get through this. Oh, that's the Discord. That is the wrong. I put the wrong thing in there. I have a Discord. You can join that. That's for free if you want to join that. I should have put in the command for my Patreon, patreon.com/PatBear. As I said, different tiers. I gotta shoot a new video for that. I haven't shot one since I moved down here from a Patreon. I gotta do that. I'm trying to do a push. The goal is to hit $150 on that Patreon, and right now it's $134. So I gotta get working here. Gotta get some new blood in there, while still respecting the old blood. YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube, please do so. It's free. I put out videos every other Monday and every Wednesday, plus some other stuff, but guaranteed every other Monday and guaranteed every Wednesday. There's a video on there, and it's good. So jump into that. Jump into my YouTube. And there's also memberships. You get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. Do that. I think you'll like it. Let's see. There's that. Oh, also direct donations. If monthly is not up to something you're up to, well, you could do it on a monthly. Like once in a while instead of monthly. You just do that. Direct donations go into a fund where I pull money out to buy model kits. That is the same for my Patreon and YouTube and Twitch. All that money goes into buying model kits so that I can keep doing this. All of this. Kits don't buy themselves. I mean, sometimes they do, but most of the time they come out of funds. And I appreciate it if you are a subscriber now, or if you've ever been one, if you ever bought something for me, made a donation, if you've ever been part of the Patreon, if you're one of the couple people that is a member on YouTube, thank you so much. If you ever give me a bit, I appreciate it. Or gifted a sub in the community, or received a gift from the community, thank you very much for all of that. I appreciate it. As mentioned, the next kit I'll be working on this stream was a kit purchased off my Amazon wish list. I have an Amazon wish list. I'm going to be looking at it right now. There's all kinds of cool shit on there. You buy it, it comes to me in the mail. I build it on stream. It jumps the queue. I've got Lego sets. I've got a Mega Constructs kit, the Alien Queen from Aliens. High grade kits, master grade kits, all kinds of different things on there. Inexpensive kits that I'm like, I don't know why that's $33. That's a weird price, but whatever. Prime shipping, not prime shipping. Expensive kits, cheap things, tools at the bottom. Again, if you like, that is a great way to support me, is to buy something off my wish list. But that is not obviously something you have to do. And an alternative to that would be, if you're interested, we're going to get back to building soon. Almost done promoting all my shit. You could buy a gift card to USA Gundam Store. They sell gift cards to USA Gundam Store, and then you could like send me a whisper on Twitch or a DM on Twitter and be like, hey, I bought a gift card. Here's the code. And then I will buy something on that store and use that gift card code. If if you got some money for the holiday, burning a hole in your pocket, and you're not sure what to do with it, you could give the gift of me having model kits to build, which is a gift that I would appreciate. Um, but you don't have to do that. Anyway, I got a couple of video to share with you. Pat Bear's Anime Club. This was recorded live on stream, and it is me talking about anime from the fall season, like my review, and then I previewed some stuff. I previewed the new shit that's coming out this week. New anime has started this week. Maybe you've seen some of it. Anyway, I talked about a bunch of it, so watch that. And then I have a new Wednesday series called Do You Remembaer? If you missed the Wednesday video, you missed the link on that on Wednesday, I got a new video series. As I said, it's called Do You Remembaer? I read a Wikipedia or other article online. I try to remember as much as possible, and then I start recording and talk to you about the thing I just read about. I grab an image so that I have some kind of reference material. The first one here is about Glen Rock, Boulder. So not to be confused with Glen Rock, the town they built around the Glen Rock, the Boulder, which is an old ass rock, and also a World War I memorial for some reason. So I talk about that, and I remembered most of what I read, which is pretty great. I got a new one coming out on Wednesday. I recorded it, and I think I did okay with it. I'm not sure if it's two Polish words, it's like a Polish phrase, and I don't know if I pronounced it correctly. But I tried my best. I found a pronunciation, and I tried my best. Anyway, I think you'll like that. All right, we're going to talk about some anime and then talk about some manga. We'll start with anime first. I'm also going to drink some water, so we'll do that. Let's get that loaded, and then we'll get into it. It went dramatic, but I gotta drink more water. Sorry. Uh, on times when I stream and also when I have done um my D&D, my voice is definitely like I'm pushing. I'm definitely like trying my hardest to like get my voice out. It's not great, but it's fine. Um, but I definitely it is definitely like a bit of a struggle because I didn't I did vocal warm ups tonight before the stream. I didn't do vocal warm ups before my D&D shit, which I should have. I really goofed it. It was a big mistake. So basically, you can take these swords and you can make them into a sheet into a bow, and then you can like basically this lance can be like an arrow, which is a weird thing to say, but that's what they want you to do. So it's like this, like this. I don't know. I think it is a weird idea. It's a weird concept. Basically, you can have a bow and arrow. I'm not even gonna put any of the weapons on this kit. I'm gonna just lay them out next to it for my photographs. So all we have left to do is the sword and then the mace, and then we are done. So we'll get that together, and then we'll take some photos, and then we'll start the next thing. But I'm going to start by talking about some anime. So I'm not going to do like this happened and then this happened and then that happened tonight. I am just going to give you my overview of these three shows, and then I will give you my yeah, nah, or so yeah, nah, or are the three criteria for this, and I will be attempting to answer if I am going to, if I'm excited about it and want to see more. If I'm like, I don't know if I want to do it, or I'm like, no, I'm good. And the three shows I was talking about are Slow Loop, the strongest sage with the weakest crest, and how a realist hero rebuilt the kingdom. Let's start with Slow Loop. Yeah. This is this is a show about girls who like fishing and also find out they're now stepsisters. It is cute and fun and light, and it's gonna get heavy in spots, I bet, because they've added this element to the, like, it could have been they were just girls who wanted to fish, but now there's like a lot more going on. I love the idea of them being like, well, we have this in common, as they try to like figure this out. I think that is very cool. I'm excited to see more of it. So Slow Loop comes out on Fridays. It is available on Funimation. I don't know if it's on Hulu, because sometimes fun stuff is also on Hulu, but I know that for a fact it's on Funimation. That's where I'm watching it. And I would say, if you liked Diary of Our Days, The Breakwater, which was another fishing anime, I think this one's already feeling better than that. But if you like the girls doing things genre of anime, then I think you can't go wrong with this. I think you will like it. I think you will enjoy it. I think you should give it a shot. That is my recommendation for Slow Loop. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we've got more anime to talk about. I'm going to save this portion here because eventually I am going to be building. Eventually I'm going to do a YouTube video or a stream. I haven't decided yet. But at some point I'm going to do a thing where I build all of the kit bash that they have suggested. So I am saving this part of every manual so that I can eventually do this. So I'm saving all of this for each one. But I'm not saving the rest of the manual, because I don't need the rest of the manual. All right. I'm mad about The Strongest Sage with the Weakest Crest. So this is a light. It's based on the light novel. I have read some of the manga, and I didn't dislike the manga, but I definitely did not enjoy this first episode. The real thing is pacing. There isn't any pacing. It's so fucking fast, and it's a nightmare how fast it is. Why is it so goddamn fast? What rush are they in? Like yeah, it moves a little bit. So this is a story about a dude who was like the strongest magician in the world, but he knew he could have been stronger. He was born with a weak crest on his arm, denotes his power and his like abilities. He still rose above it, but he always regretted it. So when he was reborn, he has the strongest crest possible. But in the future, magic is weak, and people have been told that his crest is actually the weak one. So everywhere, even though he is the strongest person, everywhere he goes, people think that he is weak. Which, as soon as he does anything, it doesn't matter. He's also like cocksure and incredibly strong because he's a child. And then also, hey, let's introduce two characters that believe in him, that know he is great. There's literally, they've already introduced in the first episode 2 of the 3 characters that support him, that are part of his party. And it's just like, hey, we're moving too fast. Because part of it is that he didn't have people watching his back in his previous life. So now he's like, ooh, the idea of like friends helping me out. That sounds cool. I want that. Which is nice, but like basically at this point he's already like incredibly strong and top in his class and defeating teachers and all this stuff. Defeating a demon. He like they got to like the tournament against other people part of the story, which, to be fair, in the manga is not a long tournament, but they're like by the end of the first episode he's already defeated a demon. He's proved that demons are still out there, and he's decided in his head the reason why magic is stagnant and people think that my crest is bad is because of the demons. And it's just like too much shit is happening in this story already. All right, so we're gonna do like here's this kit and the weapons, and then we're gonna do here's what this fucking kit looks like. Look at this shit. Look at this centaur, motherfucker. Great, we're done with that. We have now completed the Barbataurus, which is fucking so much. It is so much shit. We'll take a good look at it here. So, in conclusion, um, the strongest sage with the weakest crest. I'll give it another episode because I do like the main character. I do like the show, and maybe they were just like, we want to tell this whole arc here. Because the real thing is that like the second arc is way more interesting to me than the first arc. So like if they're gonna speed through it, like that's kind of fun. I don't know if they are, but like I hope that they slow down the pacing. That they were like, oh, we only like my hope is, oh, we only have 12 episodes to tell the story instead of 13. We thought we had 13. Let's rush the first episode. Like that's my hope. Because otherwise, I'm gonna be disappointed. All right, so here's the Barbataurus. I'm gonna show you it like this. So you can see. Here's the Barbataurus, looking like the Barbatos, and then you look over and you're like, holy shit, this thing has two extra legs and a torso coming out of its torso or its butt. This is a centaur. It's a centaur. It's a centaur. I don't know what else to tell you. It's a fucking centaur. Put it over here. You can't see it right now. It's over the side. You can't see it. And then we're gonna move on. We're going to pop up. Booyah! There it is. Our next kit, which is the, again, I have to look up the full name, Gundam Perfect Strike Freedom. I'm going to change here. Strike Freedom. Working on the Gundam Perfect Strike Freedom, which is the Strike Freedom and then the Perfect Strike accessories. So that is the kit that we are currently working on. So we can get started with that. We'll figure out the colors. We'll figure out the components. We'll get some of this started here. But yeah, like I said, this is basically one of these kits with like a bunch of extra components. All of these parts are from the year 2016. That is when both of these kits came out. So easy enough to put this together. Let's see. Yeah, we got B1, B2 here. I'm just going to do a little bit of shelving of these trays. We do have the clear plastic shield, the energy shield. I love a good energy shield, so I'm excited to have that. Those are always fun parts. That always looks good. Again, 2016. The E and F. There, just trying to organize these trays for now. We also have a lot of beams. We got short beams. We got connector beams. We got a little dagger beam. Lots of beam weapon stuff here. Always nice. That fell off of one of the sheets there. And we've got another, like, I think like there's a whip or some kind of energy thing there. And we don't have many stickers for this kit, but we do have a few stickers here. We got an eye sticker and background things, but yeah, not too many stickers here, but a few stickers. And then some poly caps. As always, poly caps. Not too many poly caps either, but a few. All right, so that's. Then let's look at some colors. We have red, we got blue, we got our weapon is green, we got white. Okay, so then we're gonna do. We have to do our color thing here, and we'll just do white, gray, and red. We'll use brown. We'll just go with that. Yep, that looks fine. Plain gray, red, brown. Easy enough. There's a blue in this. There's not a lot of blue, but there's a little bit of blue. This might be some of the newer parts. Yeah, this is. So this sheet is 2021 stuff. So this is the most new parts of it, which is mostly like the weapons. So there are some new parts of this kit, but that most of this is 2016, and this is like the newer shit, which is mostly just like some of the perfect parts. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't talk about one of the anime I want to talk about here as we got into our new kit. Let's see. We also had How a Realist Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom Part 2. So this is episode 14 because the first half was up to episode 13. I still really like the show. This is a yeah for me. I really love the first half. I've talked about this before, but basically, to summarize, we got a dude, Soma. He was summoned to a fantasy world. He has an ability, but it is not necessarily like an overpowered main ability. He can like control some inanimate objects with his mind, which is cool, and he makes good use of it. He basically uses it so that he can have pens sign documents to help him out because he is king. He is king of a kingdom. And he is doing his best to get the kingdom out of debt, to solve its food shortage problem, and to shore up its defenses. And then, because he gets named king, he also has to quell an uprising and take control of some shitty nobles and some other stuff. He's got to like take care of business, as it were. And so he handles his business. Right now, his business is they held back an invasion and took over the capital city of this territory. But the problem is that the ruler of said territory has made a deal with like people that our dude cannot stand up to and fuck with. So now there's like negotiations, and he met like the younger sister of the ruler of that kingdom, and so he's dealing with all of that. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see where this goes. I think we are going to catch up with the manga because it is based on a light novel, and the manga. I believe we are ever so close to catching up with it, and then also surpassing it. This season, so that'll be interesting. It's for me, it's a weird thing when I read the manga and then start watching the anime adaptation, and the anime adaptation like catches up and goes past it. Especially when they cut stuff out. Like, I've talked about this before because I think I'll wrap saying like, yeah, I'm interested in how Realist Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom Part 2. I've mentioned, but we're still not at the point where, because there's been some delays with the manga. Kuma 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 Bear is still not at the point, even started really, it just barely got into the barely, that was not meant to be a pun, has just scratched the surface of the final arc in the anime. We're just getting to the village and just starting to deal with the Kraken and the thieves. And so it's very funny to me because there's just like a whole lot of shit that the anime just cut out. And in some of it, like, yeah, you're like, yeah, we don't have to see her like, well, I guess it makes sense we don't see her like defeating a bunch of bandits and killing them to save some people that then we never see again. I guess we didn't need to see that. And we didn't need to see like two of the people that have like she's helped before like hang out and like decide to like run security at her restaurant. Like, yeah, I guess we don't need that. We don't need to see that. It makes sense, but yeah, sometimes the anime adaptations just fly through the material. Like I said, part of that is definitely happening right now with the strongest sage with the weakest crest. Like that is just flying through the material. Just seemingly not giving a shit. Let's see. Make sure the parts are facing the right direction. Okay, sure. I guess we could talk about some a manga, a manhwa particularly, that I want to chat with you about. Seoul Station Druid. Okay, so talk about this. This is a Korean book. I read a lot of chapters of this. I'm not caught up with it, but oh boy, I read so much of this shit. Um, and okay, so there are the basic thing is our main character got sucked through some kind of portal, and he wound up naked in this forest, this endless forest that he was never able to get out of. He never could. This endless forest. He's suddenly like just there in it, and there are monsters, and he starts growing. He starts leveling up, like he's aware of levels, but he starts getting stronger because he has to survive, right? He gets food. He survives as best he can. He eventually gets taken in by some wolves, and he becomes part of the wolf pack, which fucking rules. Because he protected a young wolf, so now they're like, hell yeah, you're a wolf. So he does that. Basically, he gets stronger. He gets stronger. He lives for 1,000 years. He loses track of all sense of reason. He can't remember the faces of his younger brother and his parents. He is essentially just like a wolf man dealing with shit. And then he gets sucked back through a portal and ends up back in Korea. And Korea has changed because shortly after he got sucked away, he was one of several people that this happened to. Uh, Shit went down, meaning, uh, hey, check it out. There are portals that open up that don't suck people in, but you can choose to go in them. And if you don't go in them, monsters come out of those portals and attack. And this happened in many places, and it is, and so now we're doing a thing that is in a lot of Korean comics, which is there are guilds and there's like an association that runs them, and there are people that like own the rights, and there are hunters, and there are low level hunters and strong hunters, and there's like a whole system that somewhat makes sense and some doesn't make any sense, and it's to control all this and of course to make money. And our dude was only gone for 10 years to everyone. So he sounds like he lost his mind. And as far as they're concerned, he must have just entered a regular portal and somehow managed to get out. Like he hid. Because his system of leveling up is different from everyone else. Instead of like gaining like incremental power, when he levels up now, he's unlocking some of his hidden power that he didn't get transferred through the gate, uh, which they don't know why. No one knows why. Also, he most likely was on a planet that nobody in the world, this world, has ever been to, which shouldn't have happened and shouldn't make any sense. There's a lot of questions about it. But anyway, he is, of course, an incredibly overpowered main character, going about his business, doing his thing, being incredibly strong. He reunites with his brother and meets his brother's child. He rescues a dog and raises that dog, and that dog can level up somehow for some reason. Because our dude is a druid, so he can command animals and like commune. He uh, he meets a well trained person in like the bureau, uh, and he wants to he's like, mate with me. He's like, he does later apologize. He goes, I'm not good with talking to people. I'm sorry. I was with wolves for a really long time, but she's not interested. Um, uh, he makes some friends with some people that are weird, but he's psyched about it. One of them, hey, did he make friends with someone who is a well-known YouTuber? Yes, he did. He is friends with a YouTuber, which can increase his fame and is very fun because the guy's just like, "What do you mean you don't know what YouTube is?" And, apparently he had been gone in that 10 years YouTube became a thing. He missed out. Um, Also, there's a monk in the party, but his special ability, his unique ability, is that he's basically like constantly putting out an AoE that tracks monsters. So he is incredibly dangerous to everyone around him. But our main dude is like, awesome. Now I don't have to go hunt for monsters. They come to us. So our main dude is psyched about that. Um, hey, here's the weirdest thing in this show. The younger brother, his special ability is Butcher. When he has a knife in his hand, he gets crazy and gets better at killing monsters. And it's a very fucking weird choice. And I don't know what's going on with it. But anyway, they defeat a lot of monsters. They're getting stronger. Other people are trying to fuck with them. They get fucked over for trying to fuck with them. There's going to be other people getting involved with it, I'm sure. It's going to be a whole thing. Also, there's a dude that can see the future, and in his future, or because he's relived it over and over again, our main character is not in that future, so he's changed what's happening here, and so that's it. That's interesting. To the point where this guy's like, "Nah, that guy's a fake because I've never seen him before." I don't know. So there's definitely like more going on with the story, which we'll get. Um, I don't. Let's see. I don't know if I recommend Seoul Station Druid. Um, he does kick a lot of ass, but there's also like a lot of like other shit going on that doesn't seem interesting. So if you're looking for that overpowered main character who like just shows everybody what's up and doesn't have to worry about anything, I don't know if this is the manhwa for you. I do think that some of it is interesting. I just don't know if it's like worth your time. I liked it. I'm going to keep reading it, but I don't know. I would say if you read a lot of manga and you read a lot of manhwa and most of it is action oriented, then this should be on your list and probably already has been. But if you're like, oh, I'm going to dip my toes in, I don't know if this is the one. Um, it's kind of, I think I talked about the, I don't know if I've talked about the one that's like the one you should be checking out. Let me see if I can find the name of that one because I don't remember if we talked about it on stream, but I'll look up. I might have talked about OP after 30 days. Yes, I have talked about OP after 30 days sign in. That is the one I think you should check out because that is a guy who's like incredibly overpowered and has no idea why and how. And he is just making it happen. And there's like only 16 chapters so far. I think that one is like a good one of those. Um, ooh. And I'm almost ready to be able to talk about the strongest in another world, uh, which is just like an alchemist assassin who played video games and was very good at being a PvP assassin, is now in a fantasy world and can use all of his skills. And so he is just using all his skills and being great in that fantasy world. And I'm like pretty into it. But there's only been a few chapters, so I haven't been able to give a full review yet. I'm gonna drink a little more water here. We're working on this on the perfect Gundam Perfect Strike Freedom. Not an American kit, but it might as well be because it has strike and freedom in it. Um, okay, what else do we want to do here? Let's build the head. We're moving on the head. I'm going to read this instructions here. In order to make clear parts more effective, select number 2, or I can do, oh, so I have options here. I can do a clear sticker, or I can do a regular sticker. Oh. Oh. Let me get some parts here. Yeah, so I can do B25 here. Yeah, I can put on this clear instead of eyes, or I can put can put clear sticker. Oh, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so this took me a little second to figure out what they were suggesting I do, but basically, I'm building the face here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a sticker behind the sticker, kind of reflect everything. First sticker of the kit. Of course, most of the stickers on this kit are for the face. Just fine. Fine that that's that. So basically, I'm going to put this silver reflective sticker on here. And then I'm going to put the clear sticker on there. And then I'm going to decide if I want to use the eye sticker or keep it just clear with the silver behind it. I have not decided yet until I see how it looks if I'm going what I'm going to do. But those are the options. So you don't have to do this step, especially if you're going to cover the clear with the regular sticker anyway. But I want to see how this looks with the clear sticker or the clear plastic over the silver sticker. So I'm doing both right now. Or I'm at least doing this, and then I'm going to see. All right, we have some time left in the stream, so it's a great time to ask y'all, what have you been playing? What have you been watching? If you're checking anything out, as I said, I talked about my YouTube stuff that I'm doing right now, watching. I'm watching a lot of van life videos right now. I don't know. If any of them are good, I'll recommend them. Right now, they're all fine. Watching a lot of like conversions and people buying old things and all of that. Probably going to get into some like camping video things again as I start. I did just go away in December, but it wasn't that long. But as I start getting itchy for like going out in the world, I'm never going to be a tiny house owner or a van life person. That's not true. I could see myself being a tiny house person, definitely not a van person, or like like the idea of like stealth camping, or stealth uh like car camping, any of that stuff. None of that appeals to me. But the idea of a tiny space that's mine, that sounds pretty cool. So I like how this looks. I like how this clear over the silver sticker looks. I think it looks rad. So I'm not going to do the eye sticker on this kit. I might change my mind once the head is done, but right now I like this clear. I think it's like cool. Like I said, I can always change my mind at any point, but we'll move on with the head a little bit here. But right now I'm thinking I'm just gonna do this like as is with this like clear piece, this clear blue with the black behind it. I don't know. I'm liking it, or the silver. Let's see. Last Brook says, watched a couple more episodes of Hawkeye today and it's starting to pick up. Cool. Haven't seen any of it. Glad it's picking up for you. Lord Crash says, finished Cobra Kai Season 4, which was rad, and I'm excited for the next season. Oh, they're doing a Season 5. Dang, they're doing a lot of this, huh? Yeah, have not seen that. I am several seasons behind on Cobra Kai. I did cancel my Netflix, so it'll be up at the end of this month, and I'm glad I did because I don't use it enough. Eventually, I'll have to get it again because I'll want to watch more Stone Ocean. But right now, I am happy to be done with Netflix because I just don't use it. I rarely like watch anything on Amazon Prime. I mean, I mostly have Prime for shipping. I would like to watch more on Amazon Prime because I paid for it, so I might as well watch some free stuff. But usually it's like documentaries that someone was tweeting about, and I'm like, oh, I can watch that, and then I watch it. Like that is the extent of my of that these days for me, unfortunately. Like I said, I would like to watch more things. But I'm just definitely not watching things on Netflix right now. Hey, I guess someday I'll have to have Netflix again to watch this, like maybe watch this Pilgrim thing if that does end up actually happening, which, there's no guarantee it would. It could happen, but there's certainly no guarantee that they'll actually get that show made. you can get a pilot made, or that it'll get picked up to series. Um, Again, I mean, we talked about at the start. It's a cool idea, and I wish them well. That's an uphill battle. But yeah, let me know, folks, if you watched anything, you checked anything out there. If you're checking out anything cool, I like hearing from y'all about that stuff. Like what people are watching and enjoying, or reading, or whatever. Um, yeah, I'm mostly in an new anime mode. Still watch the same stuff that I like. Watch Cultaholic for their wrestling coverage, and I watch um who put out stuff today. Ma Dry Bread. That's Ma Dry Bread. Um, is you might know who Ma Dry Bread is. Ma Dry Bread does can I beat Pokemon Gold with just one Ludicolo? Does kind of the Pokemon challenges, um, and does a very good job. And does other content, but that is what he's mostly known for. Watch that today. I forget what I literally forget which Pokemon it was today. But I think it was Pokemon Gold. But yeah, it does the Pokemon challenges and does some good stuff. So I was checking that out. Are there other things that I watched checking out on YouTube? Not really. Trying to check out more, but just haven't. All right, we got the face in here. Let's get the back sticker on and then the front stickers on. And then we'll do some panel lining on the next one or in between. I really do like this clear eyes, like not having a sticker for the head. I think that is very cool. So if I do change my mind, I'll take care of that. But right now, I think I'm going to leave it as is. I'll just get these stickers on, and then we'll call it a stream, and we'll go raid another somebody. I don't know who. Maybe Matt. Matt usually streams on Saturday nights, so maybe we'll go hang out with uh, Matt for a bit. I don't know. Maybe we'll go check out what Wiggins is up to. We'll see who's on. We'll see who's streaming and who's on. I did feel bad that we raided Will Smith and it was not enough people for it to show up that we had raided, and then also it was him and people from the game that he is helping the studio work on, and so he was not talking at all, and I was like, oh, this was a weird time. And they had just finished like their last game. We saw like a minute of it, if that, and then it was mostly just discussion about the game and community. And it was like interesting to hear them talk, but it was like, oh, this was a weird raid. I was just so happy because we never get to raid Will Smith. The last time I think we did is because I had um, gone really long to finish a kit, and so it was past 11. Because usually he doesn't start until 11 p.m. Because it's late for him. It's like after the kid's gone to bed for him when he streams. So yeah, so I didn't. We rarely get to go hang out with him. All right, let's get that on, and then we got one more tiny sticker to put on this kit, and then we will call it there. I still have to finish the head and panel line it and put on the crown, but we're mostly done with the head. I think the crown is all that's left of that. Yeah, and then we'll start on Monday with the arms of this kit. This sticker is so small. It's also blue like the eyes are, so I like that. All right. This sticker is tiny. It's always a mistake for me to do stickers at the end of the night. I've talked about this before. Stickers should be at the start of the stream thing for me, not an end of the night thing for me, because I just fuck them up. Because my eyes start to strain by the end of these streams. And this is just 2 hours. I don't understand builders who do like 4-hour streams. I'm just like, how do you do that? How does that work? Anyway, I'll panel line this and I'll put on the crown later. But right now, we are going to call quits for the evening. We're gonna go raid. We're gonna go find somebody cool doing some cool shit out there. Thanks for being here tonight, everybody that hung out. I hope you'll come along on this raid. I also hope you come back on Monday as I continue this kit. On Monday, I will have some anime to talk to you about. We'll talk about 2 shows that I didn't watch today. One about a girl that works making monsters, and it's like behind the scenes of like the bureaucracy of like developing monsters for an a evil organization. And then the other one is about a guy that is going to help a girl make cosplay costumes, and maybe they fall in love. I don't know. We are going to go raid Wiggins, who is playing Chrono Cross. Wiggins is always reliable for streaming at this time on a Saturday, so we're gonna go raid Matt. That'll be fun. So feel free to come along on this here raid. And then yeah, I'll talk about some anime on Monday and more manga on Monday as well, and more conversations and all of that. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you have a great night. I hope you come along on this raid. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you had a good time. I had a good time. It was a fun Saturday. I'll see you in the next stream. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.